It should not still be in your head. It was one sentence. A stupid sentence, probably. And yet there it is, walking around the room with you, opening cupboards, sitting down beside you, somehow making itself comfortable in a life where it was never invited. That is the strange thing about insults. They feel like they arrive from outside. Someone says a thing, and now you have to carry it. Clean transaction. Very dramatic. Very useful for people who enjoy giving advice in dark hoodies. Except the insult does not land everywhere. It lands where you left the door open. Maybe it is the guitar in the corner. The acoustic one you bought because at some point you had this quiet idea that you could become the kind of person who plays. Professionally, not on a stage. Calm down. Just someone who can sit there for 10 minutes and make something come out of it that does not sound like furniture being politely attacked. And then someone says, in that light little voice people use when they want cruelty to wear slippers, "You still doing that guitar thing." That is all. Tiny sentence, almost nothing. But the guitar gets heavier. You do not throw it away. That would be too honest. You just stop touching it. You walk past it with the noble sadness of a retired sea captain, except the sea is 3 chords and you were not retired. You were embarrassed. And the annoying part is, the sentence only worked because it found something already rented out. There's this study by Park and Crocker, published in Self and Identity in 2008, from the University at Buffalo. The clean version is this. Confidence did not protect people as much as you would think. The people who got hit were the ones who had tied their worth to being liked. Not the fragile people, not the obviously insecure people. The people who had put their value on loan to an audience, which is deeply inconvenient, because it means the insult was not powerful because the other person had some magic blade. It was powerful because it touched the part of you that had already made a deal. If they approve, I am fine. If they laugh, I shrink. If they think the guitar is silly, then maybe the guitar is silly, and maybe I am silly for wanting it. A whole little court system built in your chest. This is the part where the normal advice video says to stop caring what people think, which is a beautiful idea if you are made of laminated wood. People care. Of course they care. Being liked is not a decorative hobby. It is old. It is deep. It is in the wiring. The problem is not that approval matters. The problem is when approval becomes the place you store the deed to yourself. Then one comment can evict you. You know the exact kind of insult that would get through. Not every insult. Some are just noise. Someone could insult your ability to juggle flaming fruit, and you would recover, bravely, because you have not built a private identity around flaming fruit. But if they touch the thing you secretly want to be true, the thing you have not quite earned yet, the thing sitting there in the corner with 6 strings and a thin layer of accusation, now we have a situation. Tiny comment, large paperwork. And this is where insults become surprisingly optional. Not because you can choose never to feel them, but because they need your signature to keep working. They need to match something. They need a hook. Swan and Red in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology in 1981 at UT Austin found something almost rude in how accurate it is. People would pay to hear the insult that fit their view of themselves, even when the view was ugly. That is self-verification, which is a fancy way of saying the mind sometimes walks back into the room where it was insulted because at least the furniture is familiar. Horrible little loyalty. It explains why some comments do not just hurt once, they become useful. You replay them, you inspect them. You pretend you are building a case against the person who said it, but you are also checking the fit. Did they see me? Was that the real me? Is that why the guitar stays in the case? Is that why I never get past the same song? Is that why I look more convincing buying strings than actually playing them? The insult becomes a mirror you keep pretending to hate. Yes, I know, the study says people paid to hear feedback. That does not mean everyone secretly enjoys being insulted. Please do not go around becoming unbearable and calling it science. The point is narrower and worse. If an insult confirms a private suspicion, part of the mind treats it like information. That is the trap. Last winter, I let one throwaway comment keep my own guitar untouched for nearly a week. And the most embarrassing detail is that I still walked past it slowly, like I was giving it space to apologize. There. That is my contribution to human knowledge. The cost is never just the bad feeling. If it were only a bad feeling, fine, unpleasant weather inside the skull, we would all complain and move on. The cost is what the feeling quietly cancels. The 10 minutes you were going to play become 10 minutes of proving you do not care. The song you nearly learned stays nearly learned. The next time someone asks about it, you make a joke before they can, which is just self-defense wearing a tiny party hat. And then the insult has done something better than hurt you. It has edited your day. That is why thick skin is such a lazy phrase. Thick skin makes it sound like the ideal person is a kind of emotional rhinoceros, wandering through life, unbothered, impossible to invite to dinner. But Park and Crocker's finding points somewhere more precise. The hit depends on what you wagered. If your worth is being held hostage by being seen as talented, relaxed, interesting, serious, not ridiculous, then a comment about the guitar is not about the guitar anymore. It is about the rent. Someone says one careless thing and suddenly they are collecting on a property they do not own. Your evening, your effort, your right to be bad at something in peace. That last one is not small. Being bad in peace is how almost everything begins. The early version of any private wish is usually unimpressive. It squeaks. It stops. It forgets where the fingers go. It sounds for a while like a drawer full of spoons being asked to feel emotion. This is normal. This is the whole embarrassing doorway. If your worth depends on appearing already good, the doorway becomes impossible. You can only enter rooms where you are already admired. Very elegant. Completely useless. You feel this before you can explain it. You do not pick up the guitar because picking it up would make the insult testable. If you play badly, the sentence wins. If you play well, somehow you are still playing for the sentence. Either way, the person who said it gets a chair in the room. Across the room matters. Eidick and Cross, in Psychological Science in 2008 at UC Berkeley, found that when people looked at the same fight from a more distant point of view, as if watching it from across the room, it stung far less. Same fight, different seat. That is the whole annoying little mechanism. Not the words alone, the position you occupy while hearing them. Self-distancing is the term, because apparently everything needs a name before adults are allowed to notice it. It means stepping out of the front row seat inside your own humiliation. Seeing the scene, not living inside the insult like it has plumbing. The line hits differently when you picture it from the corner of the room. A person says something about a guitar, another person freezes, and the guitar remains a guitar. Not a trial, not a verdict, not a small wooden judge leaning against the wall. Just a guitar. Before you defend yourself, name the thing you made the guitar prove. That is the little hinge, not a life hack, not a morning routine. Nobody needs a printable worksheet with a sunrise on it. Just that one move, done at the moment the sentence tries to become law. What did I rent out here? Being liked, being impressive, being naturally gifted, being the sort of person who never looks foolish while learning. Once you see the wager, the insult loses some of its royal costume. It may still sting, it may still be unfair. The person may still owe you a better sentence, frankly, but waiting for other people to become careful is a long and stupid retirement plan. The sentence began in you, someone else only gave it a voice. That is the uncomfortable part. Because if the insult had no prior room inside you, it would pass through like a bad smell in a hallway. Unpleasant, brief, not a destiny. But when it matches the private line you already half believe, it stays. It starts rearranging things. It decides whether the guitar comes out tonight. It decides whether you laugh off what you wanted. It decides whether you become the kind of person who needs permission to try badly. And permission is a terrible fuel. It runs out exactly when someone smirks. The relief, if there is any, is not that insults are harmless. They are not. Words can be cruel. People can be precise in the way only bored people are precise. But the pain is not proof that they found the truth. Sometimes pain only proves they found the rented part, the borrowed standard, the little place where you handed over ownership and forgot to ask for it back. That is why the same insult can ruin one person's week and bounce off another person like a pea off a wall. Not stronger character, different lease agreement. A ridiculous phrase, useful unfortunately. The guitar does not need you to become immune. It does not need a brand new identity. It does not even need courage, not the poster version. It needs one unglamorous act after the sentence lands. Pick it up before the insult finishes explaining who you are. Badly if needed, especially badly. Because the insult wants the first bad sound to be evidence. Let it be noise. Let it be the cost of getting your own worth back under your own roof. The insult can knock. You still decide who lives there.